When man was given dominion, the devil was no match for man. In fact, the man lived in the garden for only God knows how long. The devil was no match. So the devil knew his first approach was not going to be confrontational because he was going to lose. Given that man was the one, God gave authority over the earth realm. So you see that the devil's attack also was strategic. The devil didn't just fight zealously. He fought with intelligence. He fought with strategy. He knew if he confronted the man, he was in charge of the earth jurisdiction. He couldn't contend with the man. So he studied the man first to find out what he would do to dethrone that man from the crown of glory that was placed upon him. He studied the man first to find out what he would do to disarm him of the power God gave him. And in all the study of Satan, he discovered one thing, that if man should rebel against God, he will lose the authority he had over the whole creation, wherein the devil himself was found. So when the devil showed up, he didn't show up fighting, although he came to oppress man. He showed up first with deception, taking advantage of the man's appetite to rid him of the power that he had. He knew that God had given man certain boundaries, and he also understood how God functioned, that when you disobey God, it is tantamount to rebellion. So the first thing was to find out what was the instruction God gave man that he would cause him to violate. And after studying all of the spirit realm, all of the operations within the earth realm at the time, he discovered there was an instruction, but the details of it he didn't know. So he had to consult with the man by showing him a lot of things, because he knew that anyone the man refuses, that's most likely the one God told him not to do. And when he showed up, he asked him to eat of a certain tree, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And the woman sprang up and said, no, God said we should not eat it. This is where your power is. Your power is not the command you give. Your power is your alignment with God. So God said you shouldn't eat it. I've found where I will get you. I will get you to rebel against God, because I know the moment you rebel, you will lose your power. You know, Samson didn't know this thing. When God gave instruction for him not to cut his hair, he thought it wasn't about hair. He thought anytime he shook himself. This is why you have to be careful not to become used to methods and lose alignment. The instruction was the power, not the shaking of yourself. Many people think they can do whatever they want, and whenever they shake themselves, things will happen. When Samson's hair was cut, he shook himself as at other times, but he realized the power didn't come, because it wasn't about shaking, it was about alignment. And this is what Adam didn't know, and unfortunately till date most of us don't know it. God gives instruction, we violate it, and we think when we do certain things we will get what we want. Don't let Satan lure you to a point of no return. Now Satan lured the man to rebel against God, and when he did, God showed up. Immediately the man discovered he was naked. He had lost authority, he had lost ranking, he had lost power. He knew, suddenly he felt something had gone out of him. He felt something had left him, and he went to hide himself. And God came. The usual thing was for the man to come have fellowship with God, but this time around, when God called for him, he was hidden in the bush. And God said, where art thou? And he said, I discovered I was naked. How did you get naked? You were covered with glory, you were crowned with honor, you were decorated with power. What stripped you of all of these powers that you had? And the man realized that he was naked. And God asked him, because there is only one thing that will make you become naked. Did you rebel? Did you eat of the tree I asked you not to eat? And the man began to accuse the woman. When you fall, it's too late for accusation. You have fallen, you have fallen. Ultimately, he was chased out of God's presence. And the moment he was chased out of God's presence, he now realized that the devil came to dominate him. Suddenly, earthquakes began to happen. Tsunamis began to happen. Sickness began to happen. The animals that the man controlled rebelled against him. And the man became a slave in the world that he was to rule. He became a victim in the world that he should dominate. And from that moment onwards, the devil took authority over the earth realm. The Bible said, whomever you yield yourself, Romans 6:16, servant to obey. It said, the servant of him you are, whom you have what? Obeyed. Whomever you yield yourself, servant to obey. The man yielded himself to obeying Satan. And the moment he did that, he became a servant of Satan. Now, what I want to show you here is this, that Satan did not have arbitrary authority, power over the man. Until the man fell, Satan could not afflict him. Until the man fell, Satan could not do anything to the man. Meaning that the power Satan has to afflict humanity is not a function of strength, it's a function of authority. So where the authority is part time is where the victory is. And you need to understand understand this, because many who are in Christ today, the authority Satan took has been returned to them, but they still think Satan has power over them, because in their subconscious they assume that the reason Satan can afflict them is because Satan is strong. Satan does not afflict you because he's strong. He afflicts you because he has the right. When Adam fell, the right of dominion was given to Satan. That's why Satan confronted Jesus on the Mount of Temptation. He said, bow to me, I will give you the glory of the earth, for it has been delivered unto me. Jesus didn't challenge the authority. Only for us to see that when Jesus resurrected, that was when Jesus answered Satan. He said, all power in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Meaning when Satan said it, Jesus knew it was true. So Jesus didn't argue. Jesus paid for the sins of man, and Satan lost the right to keep the scepter. You know, it's like when they ordain kings. When kings are coronated, they give them the scepter. That scepter is called the symbol of authority. Whoever carries the scepter is the one who wields authority. So the devil does not afflict you because he's strong. It's not about strength, it's about authority. He took authority from Adam. He now got the right to afflict humanity. When Jesus came, he retrieved that authority. So Satan no longer has the authority to afflict you. If you think the reason demons oppress you is because they are strong, then they will keep oppressing you. Demons don't oppress you because they are strong. Demons oppress you because you think they still have the authority. Why didn't Satan attack Adam when he met him first? Because he couldn't. The Bible said in John chapter 10 verse 10, it said the thief cometh not but for to kill, to steal, and to destroy. When he met Adam, why didn't he fight Adam? Why didn't he attack Adam? Because there was no basis. If he tried, it wouldn't work. Hope you know, some of you here can beat the senator representing your constituency. Does that mean you can speak for your constituency? No. There's a difference between power and authority. That you can beat that senator does not mean you have authority over your constituency. You may beat the senator, and the senator may go to the Senate chamber and refuse to represent your constituency, and you will die of hunger. If you understand this, when they tell you Satan is involved, you start celebrating, because you know that the victory of Satan over man is not a power victory, it's an authority victory. Adam handed it, but now it has been taken. The moment you know that Satan no longer has authority over you, the dominion of Satan stops.